Need a new fitness marketing idea for right now? Feel like possibilities and leads have dried up. Even your current clients aren't interested right now. I get it. These are unique and tough times. But when everyone is lamenting about how hard it is, there's an opportunity for some. You just have to focus on the changes for customers as you take action. I'm Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I help you by sharing marketing and sales strategies that are anything but sleazy, salesy, and pushy so that you can create a career and a life that you love even now, in the middle, as I record, of COVID-19. So if you feel like it's tough slugging, and you need marketing ideas that lead to quicker sales, I'm going to take you back to the basics. So even though some of these will feel like, and I'll even tell you that they're the long game, you have to do some of them, and you have to think positively that there is a long game. So let's dive right in. Before we get to the episode, I want to let you know this episode is brought to you by the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist. It's the first and it's the only hormone balancing fitness certificate designed for trainers and health coaches who work with women who are in perimenopause and postmenopause. If you want to help women feel better, not just tired, if you want to avoid the mistakes that occur when you're applying only quote unquote functional exercise or only traditional and conventional exercise prescription, you will be the go-to trainer for women who are in midlife, who are constantly seeking solutions to a problem that they know they have, and they have urgency and want answers yesterdays. And they're in the middle of their life, most likely at the middle or toward the end of their career, and they have money to invest or they will budget to do it because it's that important. I'm going to link to details in the show notes. It's fitnessmarketingmastery.com/programs. Let's dive in. I've got a dozen ideas for you, and we're going to go through them rapid fire. Fitness marketing idea number one is email frequently. If you are scared, people will unsubscribe if you email more than once a week, or you've let your list go cold and you don't even mail once a week. I've got news. They are waiting to hear from you. They want health and fitness content right now. They're too close to the refrigerator. They can't sleep and they need a strong immune system. And I say this with respect, but if you're afraid, you're really afraid of, you have no idea what you're doing and you don't know where to get help. I'll link to some prior podcasts and blogs that'll help you do this. And in a podcast tomorrow, right here, I'll help you generate ideas. You need to start warming them up again. You need to communicate regularly with something of value. They aren't waiting to hear what you want to sell, though. That's not giving them value. So if that's all you do, you'll soon burn out your list and they will subscribe, and you are correct. Fitness marketing idea number two is know what your clients open. The big hits with people are recipes, videos, and in your subject line, you let them know 5 recipes included. Perfect barbecue recipes, perfect healthy snacks for the kids this summer. Or if you're creating videos and maybe it's about making recipes, you got a double win. But make sure that you put in parentheses video inside. Give them quick wins and solutions. Maybe it's how you do core exercise. Maybe it's how you avoid knee pain doing squats and lunges, but still you're able to work those great big muscles that help your metabolism speed up. Share personal touches. The other thing that really gets people to open is if you share a personal story. There's something unique and personal about, like, I was so embarrassed, might be something in the title. So if you are not the spokesperson for a business, but you are in charge of writing the copy, you need to start working with your manager, your owner, and let them know the kind of headlines that get open are these. There has to be a personal link. Nobody wants to hear from a business. People want to hear from people. Fitness marketing idea number 3 is segment your list. Listen, if you still email in one big batch to everyone on your list, even those who never answer or open or haven't for more than 30 or at least 60 days, you're hurting delivery and having the wrong conversation with them. It's time to clean up your list regularly. And it hurts, I know. You keep them on your list. You just put them in a separate list, a special group, because you know that 85% of subscribers, of prospects, don't buy right away. 15% do. But most of us are really bad at nurturing the people who take longer to make decisions. But here's the news about the moment we're in right now. And let me back up one step. I literally have had customers say to me, they've been on my email list, listened to my podcast, and read my blogs and books for years before they bought, before they took a first step and bought a program. So keep the long game in mind and know that some of those long game people may actually have urgency because of COVID-19 that they didn't before. Potentially they're at home, they've gained the quarantine 15 and they want it gone. Fitness marketing idea number 4, better titles and email subject lines are a must. So I've shared this before. My favorite tools like Headline Analyzer. So it's by CoScheduler, but if you just Google Headline Analyzer, it should come up. And I'm going to link to it here in the show notes. Save your headline creation for last, just like you save a subject line of an email for last, unless you've got a stash of them that you know you've tested and they always get opened, but you can't overuse those same ones, or it's like crying wolf. But then when you're ready to create the headline or a subject line, create 10 or 15 of them and play with them. Play with the numbers, play with the words, play with words that have emotions in them until you get a good score on Headline Analyzer and they're rich for keywords that you're going for on your site. So in my case, on my other site, I'm going for menopause, perimenopause, exercise during menopause, and all of those subjects that I cater to and talk to very frequently. I've got to have those words running through over and over and over again, and that helps your SEO. Plus, if you're making a video or like this, I'm making audio, if you talk about it over and over and then it's in your show notes or your transcription, you are giving yourself more power with SEO. That stands for search engine optimization. If you don't know much about it, you need to learn a little bit about it, especially if it's you who's in charge of your email newsletter or blog posts or videos that go on your site, the descriptions for all of your courses. If you don't know that you should be optimizing those things, you need to get in the know. Fitness marketing idea number 5 is get engagement. So if you've got better titles and subject lines on your emails and you know what gets opened for your audience, so you can take my word for it. Recipes and videos are a good place to start, but test your audience. You know what they like and love. Then if you've segmented your list and you're writing better subject lines after you've written content that answers questions, you need to make it a conversation. That's what engagement is. So you're asking them to respond, react, or do something. Every email should have a call to action. Sometimes that's simply to click on the video you've embedded in the email and watching it. That gives you a click-through rate. And it should be higher than, say, 2% in the fitness industry. For other times it may be to click at your website where you have the recipe sitting, or the image you put in your email leads you to that recipe on your website. In another podcast, I talk about polls and surveys. Everyone loves to be asked to give their opinion. So poll regularly. Let them know that you'll share results, because then you give them a reason not only to click this time in the email they've already opened, but to look forward to your email coming with the results, and be sure to include that in your subject line. Right now, you could poll about wearing masks, or exercising at home versus at fitness centers, or cooking in or eating out. Those would all be topics people definitely have an opinion on. You're not opening up a hotbed. You're not going to have a conversation about that necessarily. You're just going to do the polling and then report the result. So ask and then share the results next week. You've given two great reasons to engage with you then. The one they're doing now and the one they're going to open later because they want the result. When you get that kind of action on emails, you're asking them to learn more about a program, or when you're ready to, they're more likely to click on that too, because they've taken your advice. They're used to clicking on a video, clicking to take a poll. Why wouldn't they click to learn more about a program? Fitness marketing idea number 6, use you. Y-O-U. And I don't mean tell your own story, toot your own horn. You, the word, is simply the number one most powerful marketing word in the world. However, don't make the mistake of you guys. It's one of the worst. Check in with your social media manager or copy editor for emails. You need them to be good at copywriting, not grammar and not English literature, until the time you stop needing to persuade someone to take action and get a sale. Fitness marketing idea number 7 is use emojis. All right, so whether you're on Instagram, where it becomes a natural part of the culture, or you're on Facebook, or your email subject lines, use emojis. The open rate for emails with subject lines with emojis in them is 56% higher. You could overuse that too, so try emojis once a week. The copy you choose for the subject line still matters. The content inside better be targeted to one individual opening the email at a time. Don't waste an email open on content that doesn't serve that subscriber, or you will lose them. Fitness marketing idea number 8, use infographics, lists, and photos of the transformation. So what's really important here is, I don't mean before and after images necessarily. So test that. It was really big, really popular in the 90s and in the early 2000s, but it's a lot less so now. Depending on your market, it may actually be a turnoff. So pictures speak 1,000 words, no secret. And images like infographics, you can use characterized images or real pictures that teach or that show. They're savable. What that means is you're actually in your text going to say, hey, save this, download this, print this email out, or save this post, or download this, share it. And that gives you more juice. You get shown as a recommended watch more often in Instagram or in Facebook if people are saving your content. That helps the algorithm. You can also share those on social media, not just in your email, but do both, right? Put them in your email. Not everybody on your email looks at you on social, and not everybody is on social all the time. And put them in your stories as well as on your timeline, because some people are just eating up stories but never going to your timeline. Some people don't even know what a story is. So put them everywhere and use them richly. Couple of tools I like. Pictochart is a great place to make infographics, but recently Canva has made it so easy to make them, so you don't actually need both tools. So one way to save money, just invest in, I would anyway, first in Canva, because you can do so much more in there. Infographics are hot right now, and that is when they're well done. So if you don't want to spend the time to do this, get somebody else to do it, but check it over. Make sure it's done right. Fitness marketing idea number 9, get quality content on your site. So if you're operating as a business and you truly do have a website, make it SEO rich with keywords your ideal customer searches for. Do they search for Pilates, or do they search for the problems that Pilates solves? You need to know. So if you have a very advanced and educated and experienced set of customers who do Pilates, they have for years, and if they're in a vacation area or they're seasonally more active and looking for a place to go and they'll come to you, great. But if that's not the case and you're also open to beginners don't know they're searching for Pilates. Beginners know they have a problem. So think about whether you should be talking about problems or talking about the mode of exercise. Fitness marketing idea number 10 is be customer focused. I know that seems obvious, so no insult to you, but ask them and then answer them. I talked earlier about polling, making surveys and creating them. If you do a good poll or survey, you will have content for months, and you will never be wondering, what do I post? What do I write? What do I email about? What do I blog? Meet your customers where they are. Serve them. Polls and surveys, again, the easiest and fastest way to learn more about what they want, which is probably going to tell you ultimately what will they buy. Fitness marketing idea number 11, use testimonials with names and images or videos. Here's a flop for a testimonial. Your social media manager writes in quotations, this is what they said when they came in, because nobody believes that you didn't write that. You've got to have a name. Maybe it's only a first name and a last initial, but put their age down. That's relevant. And yes, you need to get permission or take a screenshot of their actual quote if they wrote it in a social media post, and just block out their name. Block out everything but the first initial on their name. And make sure that it's clear that they're talking about you, that you couldn't have just pulled that from anywhere. No one believes it when you say, customer said, unless you use a name, an age, something to make it real. First and last name is good. An image is better, but video is best. Fitness marketing idea number 11, create video stories. And I don't mean stories on Facebook and Instagram, although, yeah, you should do that too. But tell stories. Show prospective customers how to do something or how not to. Show them what it's like working with you. If you're worried about your hair and your makeup, you're on the wrong track. If you're worried about getting it perfect or making a mistake, you're not thinking about the customers. You're thinking about yourself. Once you're out of your own head, you will deliver the take that is going to connect you with others. And by the way, that is not perfect. Here's what I would do. If you're not going live yet, you're not doing lives on Facebook or Instagram, start. Because it will force you to simply say, wait a minute, let me back up. I made a mistake. I need to hit this other point, and get used to talking the way you would if you were simply having a conversation with someone. We do it all the time, right? We get our thoughts get ahead of us and we interrupt, and it's never perfect. And people want somebody who's relatable. If you feel like you've got to have your roots done and your teeth whitened and it's got to be perfect and you've got to be made up and you have to be wearing your Lululemon to be professional, well, I have news for you, because right now, conversational is the new professional. You have to be able to relate. Right now, people know we're all under stress, and that you're just like them makes it a lot easier for them to work with you. So tell stories, show them what it's like to work with you. And if you're worried about all those other things, you're not worried about your customer. So once you're out of your head, you can deliver so much better. And last but not least, fitness marketing idea number 12, lead, don't follow. Leaders make choices based on what's best for everyone else. In your case, that may be you and you're making decisions for your clients. That may be you and your employees and your customers. Right now, you probably need to make money, or you need to constantly be changing the way you used to do business, or both. You've forced to think bigger and globally instead of a 25-mile radius if you've been a face to face service provider. And if you are a face to face service provider, still focus on that 25-mile radius and going digitally, you're probably not going to be growing enough. You've got to get a bigger reach. You've got to get bigger, better, more qualified people who know what they're doing. Are you constantly giving free live sessions away and never making an offer? Lead. Here's the thing. People need organized step-by-step progressive fitness. Right now, random acts of dropping in or choosing Pilates or yoga or weight training for toned arms does not equal specific results. Specific protocols and plans for specific people gets specific results, right? What you do doesn't come with a GPS or a roadmap or a model that's been used before. Don't wait for one. Nobody's been through COVID-19. So by the time somebody figures this out, it'll be too late. Don't keep ideas to yourself. Watch what's working. Don't copy it, but apply it to your own model and take steps forward. So ignore somewhat what others are doing. Do what's best for best results for you. You need to be tracking everything. Change what you're doing, not just to abide by restrictions, but do it in all of your services. Get rid of negative talk about the situation, yours and others. What are you waiting for? Make a difference like only you can today, even now, while we're in the middle of this.